and welcome to Tyra Mini Reads, Reviews, Discusses, Monologues about everything and anything, and that's on period. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So I had just done a video where I talked about the best C-dramas that I watched in 2025, and so this will be the best K-dramas that I watched in 2025. Obviously, this list is a bit shorter because I apparently enjoy watching C-dramas more than K-dramas. And so I'm going to just get into the list. The first one will be Our Unwritten Soul. This is on Netflix, 12 episodes, and we follow Park Bo Young and Jin Young, which I've actually talked about this show earlier this year. It was such a standout for me. We follow these two twin sisters who are these twin sisters, basically, and they are, they're trapped, isolated in their daily life. They're unfulfilled, they're unhappy, but everyone is kind of keeping from each other and not really opening up. So this is like a self-exploration, self-discovery journey for each of them. And they kind of mend or heal themselves, while helping each other. And they are able to basically, break free of the shackles of society and really do what really works for them. So it was a very moving story, at least for me, right? Because we're often trapped in, doing what is expected, what we should be doing, but does it really make you happy is the question. I think, that's what I got from it. So, and then we follow Jin Young, who I love Jin Young. I mean, he's fantastic as an actor, but, he actually was a bit more nuanced in this role where he was portraying someone that had a disability, and I think he did fantastic. So it was a really good show all in all. It's on Netflix, and Our Unwritten Soul was chef's kiss. Now, the next one that I watched that I really, really loved, and I've gushed about this show a lot, will be Love Scout, which is on Viki. It's 12 episodes, and we follow Han Ji-mi and Lee Jun-hyuk, where Han Ji-mi, okay, so this show is like a subversion of the regular K-drama tropes, where typically we follow the guy. The guy is a chaebol, he's a CEO, he's a top shot. But in this show, we follow Han Ji-mi. She's a CEO. She's not a chaebol, but she's basically the CEO. And the male interest, which is Lee Jun-hyuk, he's hired as her assistant. So she's really good at her job, but she's just not really organized, and she's a workaholic. So, she's needing someone who's detailed and organized to, I guess, basically be her assistant. But the thing is, the two of them have met, and they have a really pleasant experience. So it's kind of like a slight enemies to lovers kind of trope, but it was done really well. I think it was very fantastic. Another thing that worked for me for this show was the OSTs were beautiful. They were just perfect. And also, it was such a mature relationship. Like, this is not a 20-year-old or 22-year-old kind of couple. These are 30-ish plus. And, you could tell that, once they were committed to each other, it was just smooth sailing all the way. So I really enjoyed Love Scout. Put in a little family drama, you have a great K-drama. So this was fantastic. I loved it. The next one will be Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, which is on Netflix by Im Yoon-ah and Lee Chae-min. This is the first time I'm seeing Lee Chae-min. I think this is the first time he's in a show as the main character, and I think he did really well. He gave off that kingly energy, and he was just chef's kiss. So this one, we follow Im Yoon-ah. She's a renowned chef who just finished winning a competition in Paris, and she was on a flight going back home to South Korea when she was basically transported into maybe the Joseon era by a book that her dad had said, "Oh, I need you to pick this book up for me." And then she opens the book, I guess, mid-flight or something, and she's just basically transported. And so she's basically having to save herself by coming up with cooking foods that they haven't eaten in this time period just to save her life. Now, a couple of things worked about this show. A couple of things that worked about the show was the eating scenes were really nice. Whenever she would serve someone food, they had this whole orgasmic, expression. Like you see them, like they're like, oh my God. And it's just so mind blowing, the explosion that happens in their head. I like the way that was portrayed every single time. It was the best. And so you would see them enjoying the food. And if she actually served food to people who didn't like her, you would see them try not to spaz, but the food was so good. And then the second thing was, I think the romance between Imyuna and Chaemin was really good. It was nicely done. It was believable. They sold me, so that was good. Now, one thing I didn't like was the time travel piece of it. It just was not really explained all that well, so let's duck a little points. But it was a cute little show. I'm not going to deny it. It was really good. It's on Netflix. Watch it if you, kind of like shows about food. Like, you will be hungry, okay? This girl was coming up with butter. She was coming up with pepper. I mean, she was coming up with things that they've never eaten before. So it was really nice to watch that. I'm going to do a quick honorable mentions for 2 shows that are still airing as at the time that I'm filming this video. And that would be Dynamic Kiss, which is by Eun-jin. She's the actress that did My Dearest, which was such a rave a couple of years ago. And Jan Kim-young. I haven't really watched his show before, but I know he's done, I think My Roommate is a Gumiho or something like that. So they're actors that are pretty popular. Anyways, this one is a bit zany in that Jan Kim-young is the CEO in this situation, and he he goes to Jeju Island for the weekend. Eun-jin is the same. She is a 30-something-old senior sister who does not have a job. So her junior sister is getting married and is like, yeah, you're a disgrace to the family. Here's a ticket to Jeju. Can you just get out of sight for the weekend while I get married? Which I was like, ouch. But anyways, Godarim goes to Jeju, and through some series of events, she meets Ji-hyuk. When she meets him, they agree because Jan Kim-young is trying to get somebody, and she's like, okay, fine, I'll help you. He's supposed to pay her money, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, they are trying to pull off this stunt, and they accidentally kiss. And I'm guessing like that kiss is like a 1 in a million kiss, because the two of them are just like proof, they're just like, oh my God, transported to ecstasy or whatever. And so they get really hot and heavy on this trip. They're about to do the deed, and someone, she gets a phone call, that's Godarim, that her mom is in the hospital. So she bolts out of the, hotel room, and she's lost. Like a classic Cinderella moment. So Jan Kim-young is trying to find her. He's unable to find her. And so she gets back to Seoul. She realizes that something is up with her sister. And so she's actually forced to get a job. She eventually gets a job, but it's for a baby company that, you guessed it, belongs to our protagonist. Well, his dad. So he's also working in that company. But there's a sweet twist to this, because it's a baby company, like a diapers and baby food things kind of company. But one of the requirements to get the job is you have to have a child. So Godarim lies on her resume that she's a mom and she's married and she has a son. And yeah, you guessed it. Jan Kim-young is her superior, like her boss. And so he's like super confused. He's like, wait, what? Like, you cheated on, or you were about to cheat on your husband with me, and you have the guts to come to my face and be all like, it wasn't anything. Like, we had a dynamic kiss, man. So it's really nice. And one thing I would say is Jan Kim-young is behaving like a very zany-ish character. He's not behaving like the aloof CEO that we see that are always trying to be repressed. He's actually a mess. He's so messy. Like, he like shouts, and he's just like so unruly, which is so cute to see. So I'm super excited in where this show is going to go. I think this is also going to be a top watch for me, because it's light, it's funny. I just feel so bad for him, because he is struggling. Like, he's in agony, so much pain, because he really likes this girl, but she's married. So the other honorable mention will be Moon River, which is on Viki. It's 14 episodes. It's still airing as at the time I'm shooting this video. And this is by Kang Tae-ho and Kim Se-jeon. We haven't seen Kim Se-jeon in a minute, but this is a good debut for both of them. Basically, we follow this crown prince who lost his wife, the crown princess, and he's, really been in pain for the past maybe 5 or 6 years that she's been, deceased. But then he runs into Kim Se-jeon, who looks exactly like his dead wife. And so he's like, what is going on here? So he's trying to figure out what's happening. She, on the other hand, apparently, at first when you watch the first episode, you think it's a reincarnation kind of thing, but it's actually not. She's actually the same person. She just has a memory loss thing going on. Also from the first episode, you kind of get the idea that there's going to be some soul swapping going on. And there is like a mysterious fantasy leaning, element to the show. So it's giving like, I want to say like a goblin kind of vibe, just a little, but it's not bad. It's really good. And both of them are really experienced actors and they're crushing it. So these are some of the best K-dramas that I watched in 2025. As you can see, not a lot, but they were really good shows and I enjoyed it. But thank you for watching. Let me know any shows you watched in 2025 that were really good and you enjoyed them. But until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video.